Welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and today we're going to be talking all about my 2021 tops and flops. I went through all of the makeup that I purchased this year, which was a lot more than I really felt like I purchased in the moment, but I sat down, I looked at everything, and I picked out the things that were truly just my top products of the year, as well as a couple of fails. Now, because I only took into consideration the makeup that I purchased from January through November, I also have a couple of honorable mentions that came in December. I just didn't feel right being like, yes, this is one of my favorite products of the year, when in reality I've only been using it for a few weeks now. So I hope that you enjoy, and let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so there was one primer in 2021 that just captured my heart and I fell hard for it, and that is from NYX. This is their Marshmallow Primer. You guys know this went absolutely viral on TikTok. It was sold out everywhere. I purchased it so that I could, test it out, because I was doing a video all about TikTok viral makeup and I loved it. I put it in a project, used it all up entirely, and I still, even though that was towards the beginning of the year, I still genuinely miss it. And it's one that as soon as I get my primers numbers down a little bit, I will be purchasing the full size because I really loved it. It felt so nice on my skin. Makeup laid beautifully on top of it. It has a very nostalgic smell for me. I just really enjoyed that product so much. I still feel like it is a little overpriced. NYX gets a little big for their britches, but you can always find a good sale with NYX. So love that so much. I also had two concealers that I fell very much in love with this year. I purchased a whole bunch of concealers because I was going to do a video battling drugstore concealers. I actually filmed it twice, but I talked too much and I couldn't get it edited down to where it made sense, but it was also of a length that people would actually want to watch. So one of the concealers that I purchased for that is this one from L'Oreal. This is their True Match Eye Cream and Concealer duo sort of thing. This is the eye cream in a concealer, and I love this. I love this. I have mine in the shade N1-2 Fair, and for me it is perfect. So this is the kind of product that I use on a no makeup day, where I just use my finger to blend it out and then take like a powder foundation and use that for the rest of my face, and I'm good. And this for me is stunning. I love this so much, and the only thing that I don't love is that it has kind of a squeezy tube top, and it is a very liquidy consistency, so you want to be careful. It's easy to squeeze out too much, but it blends beautifully. It gives me a nice amount of coverage without looking too heavy. It's easy to wear by itself, or as I said, combined with a powder, and it still looks very natural. Love it. I also fell very much in love with this from Ulta. So this is their waterproof concealer. It's technically called their full coverage liquid concealer, and it is waterproof. Mine is in the shade Fair Cool. Again, this is a product that just looks on me so freaking beautiful. And it was kind of a happy accident that I got the color that I did. The color that I initially went in for, I don't even remember, it was a neutral shade, I'm sure, was out of stock, and I was just really intent on filming that video, so I picked up the cool one. And I'm glad that I did, because it has that slight pinkness to it. It works so well at not only brightening my under eyes, but also doing a little bit of color correction under there as well. So if you are a fan of the Becca under eye concealer, think that kind of very light pink tone, but also a concealer. So it's not as pink, but it's got a little bit of pink. I don't know if that makes sense, but for me, this has been perfect. It blends out so beautifully. It gives me good coverage without looking heavy and cakey. It, on me, doesn't have a problem with creasing. I love this. I really love this a lot, and it really surprised me. For me, the Ulta house brand is very hit and miss. There are some things that I just really love and other things that I just think are awful. This was definitely a strong win for me. And kind of on that same vein, another TikTok viral product that I fell absolutely in love with. This is also from L'Oreal. This is their Infallible Freshware Powder Foundation. I have mine in the shade 05 Pearl. You guys, I love this powder so much. In fact, I have repressed it and hit pan again on it. Like, look how little product is left in there. I absolutely adore this product. I've already purchased a backup. It just looks, again, it looks so nice on my skin. And for me, I can apply it in a variety of ways. I can take a big fluffy brush, especially when I'm using something like that lightweight concealer. I can just dust it on. It gives me just a touch of coverage, but still, you know, evens out my skin tone. I can also take a more dense brush and I can really work it in to give me full coverage. Like, this is fabulous, absolutely fabulous. I really, really like it a lot. I mean, obviously. I had a bronzer that, again, I just fell so much in love with. Now, this is not a new product. This, I have no idea when it came out, but I discovered it this year, so that's why I'm including it. This is from Essence. This is the Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. As you can see, I have hit some really sizable pan in it. This is in the shade 01 Natural, and I live for this. I live for this. The coverage, or not coverage, I'm sorry, the color on this is, for me, absolutely perfect. It is a very neutral, light bronzer, and that is, for me, very difficult to find. Oftentimes, light bronzers tend to pull quite orange, or they turn into just a straight up contour. This is perfect. It is a nice neutral shade. It gives me some warmth to the skin without pulling orange, and it's so nice. It is so nice. I absolutely adore this, and I cannot think of another bronzer that I want to have in my collection for the entirety of my life. This is so good. I bought a blush, a very, very expensive blush, and I thankfully love it. And I feel crazy loving this blush so much because it's so against type for me. But yeah, it's the Dior one. Oh, I fell into this hype too. This is the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow in the shade 001 Pink. And I say this is against type because, you guys, I don't ever gravitate towards this bubblegum cool pink sort of shade. It is, in person, it is very bright in the pan. It is not at all the kind of blush that I gravitate towards. I gravitate towards sort of peachy brownie sort of blushes. Those for me are within my comfort zone. This looks so good. This is one of those blushes that is supposed to adapt to your skin. It looks different on everybody. I am wearing it today, so as you can tell, it's not a crazy bright pink blush, but it gives such a healthy, beautiful flush to my skin, and I can't stop using it. I absolutely love it, which is good because it's stupidly expensive. I would have been really, really angry if I purchased it and hated it, but I do. I really, really like it a lot. So I have two highlighters to talk about. One is not new, but again, it is new to me, and that is from Nabla. I picked up their Skin Glazing in the shade Privilege. As you can see, it's gotten a good bit of use. There is some serious wear in there. It is just a beautiful peachy golden sort of champagne-y highlight, and I love it. It looks so nice on my skin. The formula on this, because it's baked, is so nice. It applies really beautifully. It doesn't emphasize texture, and it's really great because it's very versatile. So I can put it on and just have a very sort of lit from within kind of, I don't want to say natural highlight because, let's be honest, but it's not going to be seeing you from the stars sort of highlight. It's just, it's perfect for every day, and it's also one that you can build up and get that really shiny, shiny sort of reflection, but it looks very wet on the cheeks, and that's the thing that I like. Now, the other highlighter that I fell in love with definitely is on the other end of that spectrum. It is quite intense, but it steals my heart. Oh, and that's this. This is from Danessa Myricks, This is the Lightworks Volume 1. I purchased this during the spring Sephora sale, and I have absolutely zero regrets. So these are the shades. You've got a variety of different tones. You've got a variety of different intensities, and it just goes with everything. It just goes with everything. And these are so finely milled. They go on just as I was describing with the Nabla one. They go on so smoothly and silky, and they don't emphasize texture, and they just look amazing. They just look amazing, and I love them so much. And this is one I have recommended time and time again. You guys have probably no surprise that it's here. I love it. I love it. The last thing that we're going to talk about are lip products. Lip products. So I did already film my top eyeshadow palettes of 2021. So if you have not seen that, linking it in the description box below. But I dedicated a whole video to my eyeshadow products, which is why you have not seen them here. And I probably should have started off with that at the beginning, so I'm sorry I forgot. But moving to lip products, I did have one, yeah, I think I had one lip product that really just stole the show for me. And that is because I discovered the Kaleidos Lip Cloud formula. I think that's what it's called. No, Clay Play. I'll put it down at the bottom. I always get it wrong. Yeah, I discovered these and I am kind of obsessed. I'm kind of obsessed. So I did one of their build your own kits. So I got to choose the shades. I got to choose the tin. These are the ones that I chose. I am wearing one of them today. I'm wearing the shade Terra with a lip gloss on top of it because I was just feeling a glossy lip. But I think my favorite is honestly Bear. Let me swatch all these for you so you can see them. Hold tight. All right, so these are the 4 shades that I have. This is the shade Bear. This is the shade Terra, which is what I'm wearing. This is the shade Wild Apple, so pretty. And then this is the shade Mahogany. These are absolutely beautiful. They have this lovely, very light, very whipped sort of formula to them, but they go on beautifully opaque. I don't have issues with them being streaky. They dry very nicely. They're not completely transfer proof, but they do dry really nicely so that I don't have to worry about them moving around, but they also don't feel drying on my lips. Like, they don't make my lips super parched. They're beautiful. The wear time on them is very, very nice. I do find myself having to reapply after like an actual meal, but with just light snacking and drinking, they hold up beautifully. Such a fan, such a fan. I kind of want to buy a whole bunch of them, but I know better than to do that. But yeah, they are absolutely beautiful, and I do 100% recommend them because they're lovely. All right, let's move into some honorable mentions before we get into the few fails that I had for the year. And while we're on the topic of lips, let's talk about the gloss that I'm wearing over that Kaleidos lipstick. And that is from Tower 28. I picked this up during the Sephora fall savings event. It's a duo. This one is in the shade Chestnut, and it's stunning. It's so pretty. The color on it is so nice. The texture of it though is what I'm just so sold on. It is so glossy, but it's not at all sticky. It feels so nice. The longevity on it, the wear time is really, really good. But I also don't feel like it travels or anything. Like, it is just a fantastic formula, and I'm so happy that I picked those up, even though I really shouldn't be buying lip products. I love that a lot. I love that a lot. I also picked up from Merit, and I mentioned in my haul video that I don't even remember actually putting this in my cart. It was on my invoice, so I totally did buy it, but I don't remember doing that. But this is a mascara from Merit. This is in the shade Perfect Black. This is their lengthening mascara. I picked this up because Angela Bright was talking very highly of it, and it's nice. It's nice. The thing that I like the most about it is that I don't have any issue with it flaking or transferring, and that for me is really, really important. With many mascaras, I find that it gets all over my lower eyes. I don't know why, but there are so many mascaras that just transfer horribly. This one does not. I never have any issues with it, and I really very much appreciate that. It's also very easy to wash off, and I am able to wash it off completely, also something that is very important. So like this a lot. Okay, yeah, I picked up the Colourpop Mandalorian palette and I've worn it a few times, and I've really been liking it a ton. So that is what the front looks like. I am kind of obsessed with this packaging. Very cool. And then this is the color story inside. And it's just really great. You've got all of these grays and greens and just grungy tones. And then you've got a really happy sort of muted orange, just yellow mustardy sort of shade. And then that really soft pink. And it just is a really balanced palette. Like, I was so surprised. The looks that I've created with this have all been very different so far, and I just really enjoy it a lot. And I'm very happy that I picked it up. But again, I picked it up in December, so can't really tell you it's a favorite for the year. Oh, and the same is true for this guy right here. Oh, I know. I'm gonna yeah, just show you everything. Hello. Yeah, so this is the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette in Light, and I will tell you right now, I am so obsessed with this highlighter. I am so obsessed with this highlighter. I am so obsessed with this highlighter. I think the other products in this palette are lovely, don't get me wrong. The eyeshadows, stunning. The quality, so good. The blush, very pretty. The highlighter, I want to just cover my entire body in because it's so pretty. I love it. I really do. So those are my honorable mentions. And now I do have a couple of flops. I do. Not many. You guys know me. I tend to really try to do a very good job of researching the products that I buy before I buy them, so that I don't end up with things that I just have no desire to use. So I do have three. And let's start with one that you already know about. If you have been following my Nightmare on Panning Street project, then you have heard how disappointed I am in this. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Cookie. And I was so excited about it, but you guys, the little circle of blush in the center makes this whole product unusable. It's very pigmented, and there's no way to pick up the bronzer without picking up the blush, especially since if you notice the pattern, and oh, that's a good angle. So the blush sits higher than the bronzer, and so you end up with so much blush, and the two shades, the bronzer and the blush on me, don't mix well together at all. And I was so excited for this, and I'm so bummed that it just does not work for me. I've been trying to use it as just a blush, which has been kind of working, but I don't really love the blush shade. So definitely a big old bummer, but this is it's a flop for me, Another item that is a flop for me is also not a new release, but it's one that I used this year, and that is from Juvia's Place. This is their I Am Magic Concealer. Again, this is one that I purchased for that video, which, by the way, if you would like to see me battling products, let me know. What would you like to see me battle? I will try to do better and not talk so much. But yeah, so I picked this up for that, and it just does not work well on my skin. It doesn't sit nicely on my skin. I find that it really doesn't give me the coverage that I want. Even so, if you use a very small, or let me wind that back a little bit. If you use the amount that I would typically use for a concealer, it's way too much. It will cover your whole face. Like, the spread on this is incredible. So then you kind of use just a couple of very small dots. And while it stays pretty much where you want it, I don't feel like it gives me enough coverage either. Like, it doesn't sit well. It doesn't cover my dark circles. It doesn't look good on me. That's what it comes down to. I know that there are a lot of people out there who really enjoy this concealer. I am just not one of them. And then finally, one of my biggest fails of the year. You guys saw me try on in January. I picked up from e.l.f. their Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer because I thought a cooling face primer sounded delightful. I assumed incorrectly that this would be kind of a minty sort of primer that when you put it on, you have that kind of, I don't know, like cooling sensation. That is not what this is. This is a tacky gripping primer, and I was not prepared for that. When I tried to apply it, I had to immediately wash it off. It was such an uncomfortable sensation. I do still have it because I'm going to be gifting it to a friend of mine. Honestly, I had intended to gift it to her at that point. Just haven't seen her in a year, which that's sad to say, but she works a lot, so we just haven't found a time to connect. But I think we're going to try to get together at the end of December. So I actually have quite a few products that I'm going to be gifting to her, this being one of them. She really enjoys the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. So this is, from what I've heard, very, very similar to that. But it does not have a place. It does not have a place in my life. So those are my 2021 tops and flops. What do you think? Do you have any of these products? Are they winners for you or are they not? I would love to know. Please let me know down in the comments below. As always, everything that I have talked about as well as everything that I'm wearing will be linked in the description box below. And if you have not yet subscribed, I hope that you'll consider doing so. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope that you're having an amazing day and I will see you next time. Bye.